Okay, here we go. Two grandmas and a microphone. Two grandmas and a microphone, number 14. We're back after our Christmas, New Year's break, right?
Hiatus, yep.
It's good to have some time off. Actually, it's kind of hard for me to have time off. I don't quite know what to do with time off. I took a lot of naps though. It was good. I tried my best to rest and restore and do all that. How about you?
It was the holidays. I felt a little busier than usual with family. It was an unusual holiday, and it's been an interesting time, especially this week. It's been a very hard. I had a couple sobering days with the Wednesday event at the Capitol.
Right?
Today I feel sober. 2 days I just kind of sat and felt horrible, sad, angry, all kinds of feelings. It's very upsetting. I'm noticing how deep my anger is that happened. Like, it's deep. It's like, how dare anyone do that in our own country?
Right.
So upsetting, Mary.
I know.
It's how people can rationalize that that's okay. It's beyond me.
Right. It's so much more than the president. So much more. You know?
Well, yes, and
all the
you
people
don't need
that
a leader
support him.
leading you, right, to do
Right.
that. That's the other piece of it. Like, yes, there are people like that, and that's one thing I always say I got out of these last 4 years, is I realized how many people are like that in this country that I don't think about, because they're not in my immediate
Right.
surroundings.
Right.
But to have our leader of our country who's supposed to protect our democracy lead that situation is painful. Very,
Yeah.
very painful.
Right. And it's not over yet.
No, it's not over, but I do believe there should be consequences.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
this behavior, like you teach our children, right? You have consequences for your behaviors. You can't initiate that and not have a consequence.
Right.
Certainly, the consequences go beyond, like you said, the president. That's for sure. But come on, to me, it hurts deeply, because that's supposed to be the person who's supposed to protect us. That's how I look at it. I don't know about you, but that's where
absolutely.
it lands
Absolutely.
for me. You know.
Yes. Yes.
So that's
no,
been
but
hard.
it's disturbing to me that so many people well, not so much, things are kind of falling apart. Like our government, so many people in the government were standing behind him.
I know. It's very sad.
Right. I mean,
Yeah, that's very sad.
today we had the Zoom church, and John he talked about character and principle and integrity and
Exactly.
what has happened, to our
Exactly.
nation. That
Didn't we used to value that?
Yeah.
I thought we valued that. Not to say, listen, we're all human and everybody can miss the mark. But some people, it's to this degree that is so extreme. Like, we all are imperfect and have flaws, but come on already. This is just too much. For me it is anyway. It's very upsetting.
And I know you had a crazy childhood, but I'm sure, like, you were raised not to tell a lie and all of that stuff.
I had that, even in a crazy
you had your
childhood.
Catholic school.
Yes,
It was like drilled into you. Right?
Exactly. Well, exactly. Where are all those values that we were brought up with? It gets so distorted, and
It's all about winning. It's all about winning.
power,
Yep.
money, not accepting loss. Like, we gotta learn how to accept loss. We all lose sometimes, and then you don't turn on your own country for that.
Yeah.
And it's not even rational. It's very irrational, all of it. Yeah. So it's sad. It's been a couple very sad days, and yesterday and today I moved away from the TV. And today especially, I just gave myself a break, from
Right.
it.
You can't.
Well, that's the thing. So how do we take care of ourselves? Isn't that what our goal, right, for our
Yeah.
conversations? So for me, I saw some people, some people are really into the conspiracy theory, so they're really afraid, and I feel for them. So what you put your mind into, what you watch, what you put in, that's important. So that's why I'll watch it for a couple of days, like I did with 9/11, right? For 3 days I sat watching, and then I stopped. So for me, I'm not going to ignore, I'm not going to not face what's happening, but I have to give myself a break, put in inspirational material. You went to church today, I'm reading inspirational things and feeling very safe inside. Taking the focus off the outside for a while, right? And go within.
Right.
Exercise, reading, writing.
And then I started in January with my Outdoor Fit ladies. We're doing a nutrition component to it.
Cool.
So it's just it's intermittent fasting, but it's getting off the sugar again. You
I
know,
understand.
it wasn't that much sugar during the holidays, but it was enough. And this week I feel much better.
Right? Don't you? I do too. I've been doing it for a while now.
From
a few
not
weeks.
having not having the sugar.
Don't you have more energy?
Well, I always have too much energy, actually. But it's just I feel more grounded. I feel better. You know, so it's good to get off the sugar, guys. Right?
Yes.
And-
For me,
And
it's
I
been.
didn't have that. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't like
Yeah.
Vicky having 2 desserts every day.
I don't have 2 desserts anymore, and I really try to substitute with an apple or a banana of my sugars now, for the day. So I feel a lot better. Yeah, and I don't even have a desire. Like the desire goes away, which is the very cool part. Yeah. So
And it can
it's-
go away within a couple of days, which
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
I still have my glass of wine every night, though.
Oh, okay. Well, there's your simple
There's my
sugar
sugar.
right there.
There's my sugar.
That's sugar. Yes.
But that's okay.
We don't think of it like that, but it is. Yeah.
I
Well, you're
dismissed
limiting
that.
it. Yeah. Pardon?
I said I dismissed that it's simple
Oh,
sugar.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
okay. I think of it as resveratrol.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So how should we have to move on just to keep taking care of ourselves.
That's
right?
part of it, yeah, certainly, yeah. And I think always, I know we all have different opinions, but I think you just have to really go to that place that's true to yourself and support that, Does that make sense?
Well, and then at church today, a woman spoke up and said she just feels it's so, I don't know what the quote was. It was probably somebody's quote, just about evil happens because good people are silent.
Well, that's where don't you think that's that dilemma, is you can't be silent. I agree.
But it's like, I
I
don't want to
agree.
engage with people. Actually, I've been unfollowing people on Facebook. If they're like crazy time, I'm just like, I don't need to see this. I'm done. I don't engage with them. I don't know I don't know. Am I supposed to engage with
But
them?
I do feel like that too. I remember going to Eastern Europe and coming away so sad, saying, how did this happen? How did good people let this atrocity of millions of people dying happen?
Right.
And so there is that part of me that wants to speak up, not in a way that's violent, not in a way, but in a way that says, this is not okay.
Right.
This is not okay. We've got to do something to eliminate the evil that is sparked. We've got to say we're not gonna, because I don't believe it's not the majority, or otherwise Biden would have been elected from where I sit anyway.
Right.
Some people look at him as evil, but I don't get it. I think, I don't really get it. But I understand that some people look at that and think we made the wrong choice to vote for him. But vote or not, some things are just so clear. And I do believe, like, I make sure I watch other stations, like I watch Fox, I get news that's from all over the world, and The Economist, things that are supposed to be not partisan. I
Right.
really do want to hear everything, and then I make my decision. But that thing about, I think that's a good point. How do we not get caught up in the craziness of it all and speak up, speak our truth? And
Right.
that is a challenge. And so now I understand more about how that could have happened, yet it's still horrific. But that's why I can't just be silent about it. I don't want to be one of those persons that at the end, like, I should have spoke up. I feel like that's my individual responsibility.
Well, I guess we're sitting here speaking up.
And we are. That's the goal of
Right.
two grandmas and a
I guess
microphone,
that's,
right? It's to find our voice. It may
Right.
not be your voice. It may not be somebody else's voice, but to find our voice and say it in the best way we can, right? In the best
Right.
way that's non-violent, non-attacking, right? But to say the truth of what we think is our truth anyway, right?
Yeah.
So I've had some opportunities to do that. It's not easy. Some people start attacking me, and I don't attack back. I won't. I refuse. I will say what I think is, and I will say maybe this, you don't even know me, so it may be about you, because it's true. People don't really, might not, you don't know me. Well, people don't.
What are you doing? Talking in like the supermarket line?
No, this is like on Facebook or online,
Yeah.
They may make these statements that they have no clue about me, But that's about them, and it always is. And even whatever I say is about me. I own that.
Right.
So whatever my perspective is, it's mine.
Right.
It doesn't have to be yours. But there is this sadness about, like you said, we do have a responsibility if we see evil. And there are certain things I do think are evil. And what I saw on Wednesday was evil. Those people were going to kill our legislatures. And on some stations, they're not even showing that.
Right.
I'm looking. They're not even talking about it.
Right.
What's that about?
Yeah.
To completely ignore what just
Unbelievable. Because people
Yeah.
died.
People died, and we would have had more deaths. Our senators and Congress would have been killed. They were 2 minutes away, really. So that's unacceptable, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So,
And so in the midst of all that, to take care of ourselves is a huge challenge, but I think that's our responsibility too, right?
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm sending love out to everybody and caring. I care about how we all feel and to manage our own fears, because I think that's what happens too as we get so afraid. I like the fact that, you know what, that was a small number of people, thank God. It wasn't really huge. But that small
But
number
it
of people
it
was
happened,
evil.
and it was
Yes.
egged on by the president.
Well, that
You
part,
know.
that is unacceptable. That
And,
part.
and there's questions like who were the rioters? You know, were they like the leftists? All of that stuff. Even that,
We know
it
who
doesn't
it is.
matter because the president egged them on.
I like your point. I like your
Wow.
point. It really doesn't matter. But I think it's that way that some people, modeled after Trump, does that too, is don't take responsibility for your part. I think we all have to take responsibility for our part. And some of the things I saw were so horrible, you know? Yeah. Hard to watch. Like I just had to have to turn my face because it was just so brutal and so evil, like you said. In the name of patriotism. Isn't that the worst, right? In the name of
Yeah.
loving our country.
Right.
What?
Right.
With a
Let's-
Confederate flag.
Let's destroy.
Yeah, let's replace our flag with a Trump flag. Like, what the heck does that say? This is out of control. This is really out of whack. We never had to, in my 67 years, right? I've never had to be afraid for who was our president and what would happen. They would turn on us.
And the questioning of the election, that there was
Craziness.
60 lawsuits or whatever, and everything was thrown out, and there's
Right.
still. What is that?
How many times did the states recount their counts to satisfy him? Come on.
Right.
This is just out of control.
Yeah.
This poor man, and I say poor man in a sense, is so out of his mind, and people who follow him don't get it. Like, he's not rational. This is not right. He really can't take the fact that he lost. That's his personality,
Right.
Unfortunately, and it's sad. But for us to have the consequences of it, unacceptable.
We're done.
We're done. We are done.
Alrighty.
Oh, by the way, please let us know if you can hear us. Please. We tried something different today.
Something different today.
To accommodate the COVID.
I'm trying to stay 6 feet apart.
Yeah,
all of that.
Yeah, I don't know how that, we don't know how that's gonna work as far as sound, so let us know.
But thanks. Have a good
See ya.
week.
Bye.
Bye.